Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is honestly a total game changer. We're going to break down exactly how modern smart homes have finally, and I mean finally, been fixed for everyday non-techie users. We're going right under the hood at the tech revolution that's quietly transforming our living spaces from these deeply frustrating tech puzzles into seamless, self-healing environments. So let's jump right into a universal frustration I know we've all faced. Imagine buying a brand new smart plug or, one of those fancy color-changing light bulbs. You get it home, plug it in, and absolutely nothing. It just drops off your network, refuses to sync up with your phone, or tells you it requires a completely different app to work. For years, setting up a smart home felt like you needed a literal degree in computer engineering just to get a lamp to turn on. To understand how we went from that fragmented mess to the seamless system we have now, here's our roadmap. We're covering the smart home crisis, Matter as the universal language, Thread as the self-healing highway, the Thread border router, local control and privacy, and we'll wrap up with simple set-and-forget automations.
Section 1, the Smart Home Crisis, the pre-2022 Walled Gardens.
Okay, so we really have to look back at the dark ages of smart home tech, which was basically any time before late 2022. Back in the day, you had these competing, completely incompatible wireless protocols. I'm talking Zigbee, Z-Wave, standard Wi-Fi. You were forced to choose an ecosystem up front: Apple HomeKit, Amazon Alexa, or Google Home. If you bought a bulb made for Alexa, it wouldn't speak to your Apple devices without incredibly complex workarounds or having to plug these clunky proprietary hubs into your router. But today, that invisible wall has been completely demolished by what we call the Matter era. Section 2. Matter, the universal language. Breaking down the software. Let's meet the new software brain of this whole operation, Matter. Matter is a royalty-free, open-source application layer protocol. Actually, the best way to think about it is like a universal translator. It was developed in this massive, unprecedented collaboration by tech rivals, Apple, Google, Amazon, Samsung, and it literally forces these competing giants to use the exact same mathematical language. It standardizes basic commands like turn on, dim to 50%, or lock. This means a single Matter-enabled smart bulb natively speaks to Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant simultaneously. You can pair a device to your Apple HomePod and instantly share it with a family member's Android phone on the same network. Boom! No ecosystem lock-in, period. Section 3. Thread, the self-healing highway, the new mesh network. Right, so now that these devices actually speak the same language, they need a better physical way to communicate. And this brings us to the hardware network. If Matter is the universal language, you can think of Thread as the dedicated self-healing highway that these devices use to talk directly to each other. It's a low-power, highly secure mesh networking protocol built entirely from the ground up for the smart home. Understanding the difference here is absolutely crucial. Traditional Wi-Fi uses a hub-and-spoke model. It's like every single device, from your heavy-duty smart TV to a tiny little window sensor, is shouting across the house trying to get your main router's attention. It crowds your bandwidth and absolutely chews through batteries. Thread, on the flip side, is a decentralized mesh network. Devices just talk to their nearest neighbor. Because it operates on this specialized low-power radio frequency, a tiny battery-powered motion sensor can run for years, literally years, on a single coin cell battery. Now this is where it gets basically magical. Watch how it feels itself. In a Thread network, any device plugged into constant wall power, like a smart plug or a light switch, acts as a router, actively forwarding data along. So if one of those devices gets unplugged by accident, the network doesn't just crash and leave you in the dark. Instead, it instantly and dynamically recalculates a new mathematical path through other nearby devices. This reconnection happens in fractions of a second, completely invisibly, meaning your home automations never fail just because a single plug got bumped. Section 4. The Thread border router, bridging the gap.
Now, you might be wondering, if Thread is this highly specialized, low-power frequency, how on earth does it connect back to your standard home internet and your smartphone? Well, that's where the Thread border router comes in. Because Thread devices can't talk directly to standard Wi-Fi, the border router acts as a transparent translator, converting Thread signals into standard Wi-Fi or Ethernet packets. And honestly, the best part? You don't need to go out and buy some clunky proprietary white box to plug in your router anymore. The border router tech is already hiding inside the smart speakers and displays you probably already own, like the Apple TV 4K, HomePod, Google Nest Hub, or Amazon Echo. It bridges the whole gap perfectly under the hood.
Section 5. Local control and total privacy, the death of cloud lag. Okay, we've reached what I personally think is the most empowering, yet somehow totally hidden benefit of this entire shift. Matter over Thread operates entirely locally within your home's network walls. Seriously, this is a massive paradigm shift. Historically, if you asked your smart home to turn on the living room lights, that command often had to travel from your house up to an external cloud server hundreds of miles away, get processed, and then travel all the way back to your house just to flip a switch. Not anymore. With this local execution, your personal data and your habits remain completely private. They never leave your physical property. And because it's all local, this effectively kills the dreaded spinning wheel of death. It means that even if your neighborhood's fiber internet goes down completely, or the device manufacturer's cloud servers crash, your smart home doesn't even blink. Your lights, your locks, your sensors, they will all still respond instantly on your local network. Section 6. Simple set and forget automations. Real-world magic without coding. So, what does all this background tech actually mean for your daily life? Well, let's talk real-world magic that anyone can set up without writing a single line of code. By combining this cross-brand compatibility with instant local execution, you can easily build incredible set-and-forget routines. Take the goodnight automation. You hit one button and your lights dim to zero. The front door locks and the thermostat drops, all instantly, all locally. Or the energy saver. You just stick a tiny thread sensor on your window. The moment you open the window for some fresh air, the sensor tells your thermostat to shut off the AC, automatically saving you 10% on your energy bill. Or a welcome home routine that uses your phone's location to trigger the hallway lights and fire up your favorite playlist the second you pull into the driveway, mixing Apple, Google, and Amazon devices in perfect harmony. So we've seen how Matter acts as the universal language, how Thread builds this incredibly resilient, self-healing local highway, and how border routers tie the whole thing together invisibly. Now that this tech actually works the way it was always supposed to, reliably, privately, and without you having to constantly troubleshoot it, it leaves us with one final, pretty exciting thought. What tedious daily chore are you finally ready to hand over to your newly self-healing home?